Look closely at the Bible resting on your shelf. Its dark leather binding and gilded pages hold the greatest story ever told to humanity, or perhaps the most flawless deception ever orchestrated. From the moment you could understand words, you were taught that the creator of this world is a loving heavenly Father, a divine architect who beautifully crafted the heavens, the earth, and the oceans for your ultimate salvation. You were told to bow your head, close your eyes, and pray to this God for forgiveness, grace, and eternal life. But what if the God of the Old Testament, the wrathful and jealous deity demanding blood, sacrifice, and absolute obedience, is not the true creator at all? What if this entire material universe is not a divine masterpiece of love, but a meticulously designed prison? If you feel a soul-deep calling to uncover the truth behind our reality, subscribe now. We are venturing into the deepest shadows of history together. For centuries, a suppressed truth has been waiting in the shadows, buried beneath the sands of time and the ashes of burned libraries. The ancient Gnostic texts, unearthed from the silent deserts of Egypt, reveal a terrifying yet profoundly liberating reality. The figure you know as Jesus did not come to this earth to die for your sins or to appease an angry, vindictive creator. He came as an infiltrator, an emissary from a realm entirely outside and above this artificial universe. He descended from the true, ultimate source of all light, an incomprehensible perfection known as the monad. In the Orthodox Christian narrative, humanity's tragic fall began in a lush garden with a single bite of an apple. But the Gnostic tradition tells a much older, infinitely darker story of cosmic betrayal. They teach that the divine spark within you, your very consciousness, your soul, was trapped in this physical realm against its will. The deity depicted in Genesis, the one who proudly declared, "Let there be light," was a blind, arrogant impostor. Jesus entered this dense, heavy reality not as a willing blood sacrifice, but as a bringer of hidden knowledge. His true mission was to bypass the false authorities and deliver the ultimate key to escaping the Matrix, a secret the Church desperately tried to erase from history entirely. Part 1. The architect of our prison. To understand the breathtaking depth of this cosmic deception, you must first forget everything you have been told about the creation of the universe. Before the stars ignited, before the earth formed, and long before the concept of time even existed, there was only the monad. The monad is not a person, not a judge sitting on a distant throne, and not a being you can bargain with for earthly favors. It is the absolute fullness, the infinite depth of pure, unadulterated consciousness. It is the unnameable, incomprehensible source from which all true divine energy effortlessly flows. Within this infinite fullness, a realm known as the pleroma, existed divine emanations, magnificent eons of pure light and thought. Among them was the youngest aeon, Sophia, whose name translates directly to wisdom. Sophia possessed a profound, burning desire to understand the infinite depths of the monad. But in her passionate, almost obsessive pursuit to create something entirely on her own, without the consent of her divine counterpart, a cosmic anomaly occurred. Her creation was not born of pure light and harmony, but of a flawed, isolated, and fearful intention. The result was a tragic cosmic abortion, a monstrous, ignorant entity instantly cast out of the divine pleroma to hide her shame. This entity was Yaldabaoth, a terrifying being described in the ancient texts as having the face of a roaring lion and the coiled body of a serpent. This is the Demiurge. Yaldabaoth was born completely blind to the true realm of magnificent light above him. Opening his eyes in the dark, heavy void of chaos, he looked around and, seeing no one else, arrogantly declared, "I am God, and there is no other God beside me." Believing himself to be the supreme and only being, the Demiurge set out to construct a universe. He took the heavy, chaotic matter of the void and molded it into the physical cosmos. He created the swirling galaxies, the planets, the Earth, and ultimately, biological life. But his creation was inherently flawed, governed by brutal laws of decay, death, entropy, and suffering. It was a mechanical, cold, and predatory imitation of the divine pleroma he could not see or comprehend. But the Demiurge lacked one crucial, defining element: the power to give true, self-aware life. He could build the machine, but he could not power it. Unbeknownst to him, when Sophia cast him out, a fragment of her divine essence, a literal spark of the eternal monad, was trapped within the lower realms. Through a brilliant cosmic trick orchestrated by the higher realms of light, the Demiurge was manipulated into breathing this divine spark into the physical human vessel he had constructed the first man, Adam. In that exact moment, the Gnostic texts reveal a plot twist that changes human history forever. Humanity instantly became greater, wiser, and more luminous than its creator. Inside the crude mortal shell of human flesh was a hidden eternal fire. Realizing that his creations possessed a divine light infinitely superior to his own, the Demiurge was consumed by jealousy and panic. He did not want independent, enlightened gods walking his earth. He wanted submissive pets. He wanted slaves. Does this narrative change how you see the world? Drop a yes in the comments if you've always felt there was more to the story of creation than what we were told. And so, he cast humanity into the lowest dimension of dense matter. He placed them in the Garden of Eden, which the Gnostics reveal was not a paradise, but a highly controlled laboratory. The Demiurge strictly forbade Adam and Eve from eating from the tree of knowledge, terrifying them with threats of death. Why? Because the fruit of that tree was gnosis, the ultimate realization of their own divine nature. In the most shocking reversal of orthodox theology, the Gnostic texts suggest that the serpent in the garden was not Satan. The serpent was a messenger of light, an incarnation of Christ or Sophia herself, sent into the matrix to urge humanity to eat the fruit, wake up, and remember their supreme divine origin. Final awakening, escape the material matrix. The ancient Gnostic teachers have long turned to dust, and their secret scrolls were hidden in jars beneath the sand for nearly 2 millennia, but the cosmic war they described is far from over. In fact, the matrix of the Demiurge and his Archons is more sophisticated, more immersive, and more inescapable today than at any point in human history. Look around you. You are living in a reality hyper-engineered to harvest your attention, your emotional energy, and your life force. The Archons no longer merely rely on the heavy dogma of ancient religions to keep you suppressed. They have built a digital technological prison that you willingly carry in your pocket. The relentless cycle of 24-hour terrifying news, the manufactured political outrage, the endless scrolling that numbs your mind, the crushing economic systems that force you to trade your precious time for survival. This is the modern manifestation of Hammadi. It is the ultimate distraction mechanism, designed to keep your consciousness constantly projected outward into the physical and digital illusions, ensuring you never look inward to discover the silent, eternal power of the divine spark. To escape the material matrix, you must actively engage in the alchemy of awakening. Gnosis is not a passive belief system. It is a radical, daily act of cosmic rebellion. The very first and most crucial step in this rebellion is to systematically starve the Archons. These entities feed on your lower vibrational frequencies. They feast on your fear of the future, your deep-seated resentments of the past, your petty judgments, your unchecked tribal hatred, and your profound anxieties about death. When you react to the provocations of the material world with uncontrollable anger or paralyzing fear, you are willingly bleeding your divine energy into their system. To break their hold over you, you must cultivate the power of radical detachment. You must observe the chaos of the world without allowing it to penetrate your inner sanctuary. You must realize that the dramas playing out on the world stage are illusions orchestrated by the blind god to keep you emotionally enslaved. Reclaiming your sovereignty means recognizing that your physical body, your social identity, and even your earthly thoughts are merely temporary garments you were forced to wear. They are not the true you. The true you is a breathtaking fragment of the infinite monad, a piece of the pleroma temporarily wandering in the darkness. You must carve out moments of profound silence in your life, silencing the relentless noise of the Demiurge's world to reconnect with the eternal whisper of Sophia within your own heart. This inner knowing, this direct, undeniable experience of your own divine nature is the gnosis. It is the only force in the universe that the Archons cannot touch, cannot consume, and absolutely cannot control. And this preparation is vital, not just for how you live, but for the inevitable moment when this physical avatar finally expires. Warning: the ultimate trap is set at the moment of your departure. When you leave this vessel, do not be deceived by the blinding white light or the familiar faces of angels waiting for you. This is the Archontic Recycling Center, a cosmic soul trap designed to wipe your memory and send you back into the flesh. To escape the Matrix, you must turn your back on the false light and aim for the infinite blackness of the pleroma, your true home. It is the mechanism of reincarnation designed to wipe your memory clean, flood you with overwhelming guilt over your earthly mistakes, and convince you that you must return to the material plane to learn more lessons and balance your karma. The awakened Gnostic, armed with the undeniable truth of their origin, refuses the light. They refuse the judgment of the false gods. At the moment of transition, the awakened soul turns away from the archontic illusions and demands its absolute right to bypass the seven spheres, piercing through the firmament to return to the infinite, incomprehensible fullness of the pleroma. You are not broken. You are not a sinner born in dirt, owing a debt of blood to an angry creator. You are an exiled God, a divine spark of the ultimate truth, and it is time for you to finally wake up. If this transmission has stirred something ancient and undeniable deep within your soul, if you can feel the chains of the illusion beginning to crack, do not let this moment fade into the noise of the world. The Matrix is powerful, but your light is eternal. Join our circle of awakened souls, subscribe and share this transmission with one person you wish to set free today. The escape has already begun. Part 3. The Bringer of the Gnosis. If the material universe is a meticulously crafted prison designed by the Demiurge, and if the Archons are the relentless wardens keeping humanity locked in a state of spiritual amnesia, then a profound question arises. How can anyone possibly escape? The answer lies in the true, unaltered identity of the figure known to history as Jesus. To the Orthodox Church, Jesus was the literal physical Son of the Creator God, sent to the earth to become a bloody sacrifice, a divine scapegoat to pay the ultimate price for the inherent sins of humanity. But to the ancient Gnostics, this narrative is not merely flawed, it is the ultimate insult to the divine. It is a fabricated story, carefully constructed by the Archons themselves to keep humanity worshipping the very system that enslaves them. In the Gnostic tradition, the true Christ was never a sacrifice meant to appease a wrathful, bloodthirsty deity. He was a revolutionary, a cosmic infiltrator, an avatar of pure light, dispatched directly from the highest realms of the pleroma, sent by the Monad and the awakened Sophia to stage a daring rescue mission behind enemy lines. The true Gnostic Christ did not come to die for you. He came to wake you up. He came to deliver the gnosis, the hidden, esoteric knowledge of your true divine origin. The Gnostics understood that you cannot defeat a psychological and spiritual matrix through physical combat or blind faith in external authorities. The only way to shatter the illusion is to remember who you actually are. When a divine spark suddenly remembers its connection to the infinite monad, the archontic programming instantly collapses. In the spectacular discovery of the Nag Hammadi library in 1945, a collection of buried, forbidden texts was unearthed from the Egyptian sands, revealing the exact teachings that the early Orthodox Church violently tried to erase. Among these was the astonishing Gospel of Thomas, a text not filled with miracles of walking on water or multiplying bread, but consisting purely of secret, mind-bending sayings of the living Jesus. In this forbidden gospel, Jesus does not ask to be worshipped. He does not demand blind obedience to the laws of Moses, which the Gnostics viewed as the oppressive laws of the Demiurge. Instead, he points directly to the dormant power hidden within the individual. He declares, "If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you." He tells his inner circle of disciples that the kingdom of heaven is not a physical place waiting in the clouds after death, nor is it an empire to be established on earth by a conquering Messiah. He states clearly, the kingdom is inside of you, and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will become known, and you will realize that it is you who are the sons of the living Father. But if you will not know yourselves, you dwell in poverty, and it is you who are that poverty. This is the ultimate secret the Church could not allow the masses to hear. If the divine spark is already inside you, if the ultimate truth is accessed through direct, personal, inner revelation, then you do not need priests. You do not need massive, wealthy cathedrals. You do not need to pay tithes or submit to the authority of bishops claiming to speak for God. You are already fundamentally connected to the supreme source of all reality. Furthermore, the Gnostic texts present a radically different, almost shocking perspective on the crucifixion. In texts like the second treatise of the Great Seth and the Apocalypse of Peter, it is revealed that the divine, eternal Christ could never actually suffer or be killed by ignorant men. The physical body that was nailed to the cross was merely a fleshly avatar, an illusion, a temporary biological suit. While the Roman soldiers and the Archontic forces believed they were destroying the Messiah, the true spiritual Christ was hovering above the cross, laughing at their profound ignorance. They thought they could murder a supreme being of light with iron and wood. They believed they had won, completely unaware that the transmission of Gnosis had already been planted in the minds of those who were ready to hear it. The Orthodox Church, recognizing the catastrophic threat this liberating knowledge posed to their emerging empire of control, branded the Gnostics as the ultimate heretics. In the 4th century, under the Roman Emperor Constantine and the heavily politicized Council of Nicaea, the Church weaponized the religion, compiling a specific, highly edited Bible designed to enforce obedience to the Creator God of the Old Testament. The secret Gospels were outlawed, the Gnostic teachers were hunted down, and the profound, liberating truth of the divine spark was systematically replaced with a theology of original sin, endless guilt, and absolute submission to the Matrix. Part 2. The Rulers of the Illusion. The Demiurge quickly realized he could not govern this massive, complex prison of matter alone. To enforce his paranoid will, maintain the grand illusion, and ensure humanity never ate from the tree of true knowledge again, he spawned a hierarchy of parasitic entities known as the Archons. The word Archon translates directly from ancient Greek to ruler or commander. These are the wardens of the material universe, the unseen architects of human suffering, and the engineers of the spiritual amnesia that plagues mankind to this very day. They are not demons in the traditional, cartoonish sense with pitchforks and horns hiding in fiery pits. They are far more insidious and sophisticated. They are invisible, multidimensional forces of control, psychological parasites that feed on the low-frequency energy generated by human fear, guilt, anxiety, tribal hatred, and despair. In the Gnostic cosmology, the Archons constructed 7 planetary spheres surrounding the Earth, acting as cosmic toll booths or prison walls. When a divine spark descends from the upper realms into a physical body, it is forced to pass through these 7 Archontic spheres. At each gate, the Archons attach a heavy garment to the soul. They clothe your divine spark with the false ego, with irrational wrath, with insatiable greed, with blinding lust, and with profound ignorance. By the time you are born into this world, your true radiant nature is completely suffocated beneath layers of false identities and psychological programming. You forget who you are. The Archons operate the relentless machinery of reality, keeping humanity perpetually distracted and deeply hypnotized by the 5 physical senses. They designed a world where survival demands constant struggle, where humans must literally consume other life to exist, and where pain is an unavoidable, daily certainty. But their absolute masterpiece of control is a concept the Gnostics called hymarmene, or the oppressive illusion of fate. The Archons want you to believe that your life is rigidly determined by your genetics, your social class, the movement of the stars, or the arbitrary will of an angry god in the sky. Their most powerful weapon is the manipulation of your spiritual compass. They actively infiltrated human history to create dogmatic, fear-based religions that demand absolute subservience to the Demiurge, brilliantly tricking the divine sparks into worshipping their own cosmic jailer. They instituted rigid doctrines that label natural human curiosity as sin, spiritual independence as blasphemy, and the search for inner truth as heresy. Every time you feel an overwhelming sense of unworthiness, every time you are paralyzed by the fear of eternal punishment, and every time you find yourself entirely consumed by the endless, hollow pursuit of material wealth or social status, you are directly feeding the Archons. Don't let fear win. Like this video to help this light reach more seekers who are trapped in the Archons' web of amnesia. Your engagement is a spark of rebellion. They harvest your suffering like a crop. They want you intensely focused on political circuses, endless manufactured wars, the superficial desires of the flesh, and the terrifying, anxiety-inducing narratives broadcast directly into your screens every single day. As long as you firmly believe that you are merely a biological accident, a physical body born from dust and destined to rot in the ground, the Archons have absolute, unquestionable power over you. They guard the gates of death fiercely, ensuring that when the physical body expires, the confused, terrified, and asleep soul is trapped in the ultimate deception, the cycle of reincarnation. They use the powerful illusion of karma, weaponizing your guilt over past mistakes, to convince your soul that it is unworthy of returning to the pleroma. They tell you that you must return to Earth to learn more lessons, to suffer more, and to finally get it right. It is a brilliant, inescapable closed-loop system designed to keep the divine sparks perpetually trapped in the heavy density of matter, forever generating energy for the rulers of the illusion.